It is November 2017. We are at the OpenStack Summit inside of Sydney. We're having great conversations with customers about their data protection and business continuity requirements for the OpenStack-based clouds.
Containerization, migration and upgrades.
We see a lot of things happening in the container side. It's that much that we're also looking at it the same. We used to do it with standard KVM at the moment, but we're also looking at containerizing our VMs, containerizing OpenStack itself. So that's a hot topic at the moment, yeah.
I think the trend over the last couple of years has been real workloads, real production, problems being put onto OpenStack. At DreamHost, we're migrating a lot of our own workloads onto our OpenStack. We kind of started off by building out a public cloud on OpenStack and then have now been moving internal workloads on, kind of the opposite of what a lot of others have done. But it's producing really big wins for us, and I think it's going to be true for a lot of other people. It's the continuing kind of gobbling up of production workloads by OpenStack.
Open source community, the community and the community and the projects that have been developed by the collaborative effort. It's really amazing. I see a lot of activities happening in the scientific working group. There is a lot of breakthrough coming out from that direction, especially the high performance computing and in big data analytics. OpenStack is becoming a groundbreaking cloud platform. Well, in the OpenStack community, I see more of the data, like the Sahara project, the big data project. That's really like the hot topic because analytics is the thing right now in computer science and in software engineering.
I think edge computing and also container.
I see a lot of talk about new tech, like containers, Kubernetes, edge computing, service mesh, NFV, telecom. I think OpenStack is going to make the jump to the new tech, either in the form of working with other communities like OpenDev, OpenCompute, Cloud Native Computing Foundation. I think that's going to be the future for OpenStack, and not just heads down development of cloud software. It's more lift your heads up and look what's going on in your neighboring adjacent communities and work with them. Because not all customers have the money to pay for AWS or Google Cloud. They still want to love OpenStack. Yes, hybrid cloud is a great use case. So OpenStack has been a good solution for private cloud, not so much for public cloud, because public cloud has its own challenges, right? Its security, for example, usability, features is different in a public cloud compared to a private cloud. And then hybrid is a good use case where OpenStack needs to integrate with these adjacent communities.
Yeah, the trend is more in terms of how OpenStack is getting integrated with Kubernetes. Okay, and things around the agile platform, which is getting customers to actually embrace the kind of cloud infrastructure they need for next generation applications. So that's really interesting where customer is trying to move on to. Okay, so it's more in a combination of a container-based platform running on virtualized environments like OpenStack.
Biggest hot topic, I see performance. Getting more network performance out of the platform. So me being with Verizon, our focus is on network performance. So SROV, DPDK, getting line rate performance to the virtual network functions within the platform. So that's where we're focusing.
Well, the main trend is seamless integration with services.
The biggest challenges, I think, in terms of data protection and data security. There's always key issues and governance in terms of auditing and things like that.
Yeah, so data protection is the key area in OpenStack side and cloud, and that is, there is no much option we have. So last year we started with the cloud data protection things, POC and investigation, and one of the things like Trilio was one of the good option we started with.
I have all my developers that I hope keep me out of trouble.
Well, we're protecting it with firewalls, of course. So what we do is our network team, we have firewall rules for almost pretty much everything. And we're currently also trying to implement a denial of service protection service, actually, we're testing at the moment. We're going to roll it out later this year. Yeah.
So we believe that customers are completely responsible for all of their own data, and we want to do nothing to save them from. No, I'm just kidding. It's data protection is obviously a critical and important kind of aspect of your infrastructure. You really have to kind of identify your customers, what their kind of priorities are, right? Some people want a continuous kind of data protection. They want to make sure their data is constantly, backed up. Some other people, maybe they have a little bit more leeway in kind of what they view as maybe a daily or a nightly kind of situation. So we really look at it from the perspective of what the customer wants and is willing to pay for.
We are going for protection of data. We are starting from NFVI, the infrastructure level itself, the basic fundamental foundation block, and then we are following the OpenStack security standards, how they are doing. And moreover, we are talking on Freezer, an OpenStack project for backup and recovery, because the disaster recovery is one of the key things which we need to take into consideration, because any data loss cannot be recoverable at all. This is one of the important things.
Okay, so data protection is currently very important for the customers, and from the OpenStack perspective, I think they are still getting a feel or hang in terms of how they should be going around that. There are vendors, the other vendors also, like the backup protection vendors, traditionally who are already in the customer site, and they are there and they are trying to actually help customers on the OpenStack. But I see Trilio actually doing a quite great job in terms of getting the OpenStack integrated with the backup and recovery requirements of the customer, which is something new for the other vendors because they already have a backlog, whereas Trilio I think is grounds up on how it can be integrated with OpenStack from the backup and recovery perspective.
A couple different methods for that. Today, a lot of Cinder storage for block. We're backing that up using object storage as a Cinder backup mechanism. So that's on site right now, but we're working with our suppliers to get a geo-replication solution in place. So primarily, block for primary storage, object for backup, and geo-replication for offsite protection.
And one of the things I love about Trilio is you guys provide a lot of options for us to satisfy any customer need. So OpenStack should really be paying attention to Trilio, I think.